first start by saying that, so in fact, the AI is not new. Okay, so it started in like 1950s. So when tooling, so I mean, if you know the histories, you know that in World War II, uh, Alan Turing invented this machine, and he first asked the question that can machine or can computer talk or can computer think? Okay, and then since then, a lot of work has been done to make computer think like humans. Okay, so anything that you are doing to mimic like human being work is AI. Okay, uh, and then also AI is not always popular. Uh, I mean, in the past 10 years, you will see that it ups and the downs, uh, but only in 2017. So when AlphaGo was invented and then defeated this world champion, then it becomes famous. And then it means that people believe that, okay, so computers can even beat humans. Okay, and even in business. So we since that this is focusing on the business, so you see that a major impact on the business world. So about so if we look at 20 or even 15 years ago, so when I first came to Hong Kong, that we send our students to Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and we see a lot of these traders. Okay, but nowadays, so you will see that most of these transactions they were done by computers, by the robot. Okay, so it's AlphaGo. It's like AlphaGo for stock exchange. Okay, so people will not do any execution for stock, but instead all these are done by robot. Okay, then you may ask the question, if a computer can do everything, so even buy stock for you, what can people can do? Okay, so what can I do? Okay, how can I plan my future career? Okay, so in fact, if you go in detail, so you will see that AI or computer is not simply to replace people, but is to enable you and also to add value by thinking more productively. Okay, so it means that you can do much more, okay, with AI. So this was like in the old days, we rely on horse for transportation. So when car was invented, and people were afraid that it may replace horse. But even though car was invented, it brings a lot more opportunities. Okay, so we can first look at the AI. Okay, it certainly in other industries, so AI can be used as robots, and then AI can be used for speech recognition. We have the expert systems for medical diagnosis, etc. Okay, but certainly the nowadays machine learning, especially machine learning, is hot. Okay, it's used more so in this business related fields. Okay, you certainly have the natural language processing, so it means that you understand people talk, you understand the text, etc. So this is also certainly a very important part in artificial intelligence. Okay, so when it comes to the business world, okay, we say that so business, you have a lot of these processes. So you do things based on the process. You also will follow the workflows, say in like bank. Okay, so if you are going to open an account, okay, so there is a workflow. Okay, you have to do it step by step. And then certainly with AI, so you could make the process more efficient. Okay, so you may have many different systems, but with AI, it can help you to coordinate the work. Okay, and it can also help you to reduce the errors and then improve work efficiencies. Okay, people make mistakes, and even sometimes when you do the work and you never know. Okay, so if there's anything wrong, and then when we use AI, okay, AI can help you to like reduce or minimize the risk. Okay, so we will talk about these examples later on. Certainly, AI can help you to improve your experience. Okay, so nowadays, when we use the banking system, so when we use like Facebook, YouTube, anything, so they all rely on AI technologies, okay, to improve work experience, okay, or improve the customer experience. When we look at AI in general, okay, so you have this generic AI. Okay, it means that any computer techniques that can simulate human behavior is AI, such as when you write programming language. Okay, if say you go to the bank. Okay, so you want to withdraw the money, and then the bank, uh, the like ATM machine will execute this like if your withdrawal amount exceeds 10,000, then stop. Okay, so this is certainly AI. Okay, so anything that can simulate or can execute the business rules, okay, can be viewed as an AI. Okay, it's a very simple, straightforward AI. Or in the old days, so people do diagnosis with a lot of this case statement. So if this and then what else, so you will do other things. Okay. Now it comes to machine learning techniques. So machine learning is like a black box, or it's like a box. Okay, so you have input, and it will process the information, and you will get the output. Okay. The deep learning is a subset. Okay, so it will use advanced neural networks. Okay, so neural network is, I mean, you could also say that it's a very complicated statistics tools. So it can also learn uh, by doing, and you will use this to like learn and then to help people make decisions. Okay, so in general, so we can say that machine learning or deep learning so can be classified into supervised learning or unsupervised learning. So the supervised learning is something that so you had data before, so such as AlphaGo. Okay, so the reason why AlphaGo can succeed is because that so you have all the histories of this chess. Uh, so any like the so you have the winning strategies. So you have all this data that you can train. Okay, so based on the data, you can certainly learn, and then you could do and perform better. Okay, so in many of the real world case, okay, so you have historical data, and then you may have the labels. Okay, with this labeling, and then certainly this is the kind of supervised learning. Okay, but unsupervised learning is different. Okay, so anything that is new, you never know. Okay, and then you have to use another way to learn and to do things. Okay, so in business world, okay, so if we look at recent years, okay, so in the business world, AI is widely used, and then is changing the way that the business is operated. Okay, and then you you can see that chat box is quite often used. Okay, any website you go into, okay, there will be like a prompt that chat box. Okay, what can I do for you? Okay, and then you will type in something, and then there will answers. Okay, so these are used to be. So you have this data centers or call centers at the back end, but nowadays it's all replaced by AI robots. Okay, so you may also have this like a search. Okay, so if you certainly this is also a criticism by any of the search engine websites. Okay, so nowadays like they knew your behavior, so even so they partnership with this shopping sites. So if you use Google, say if you uh, try to look for like air tickets, so in Trip or ctrip.com, and you then start to use Google, and then people like when you search, and then they will pump you with this like ads and saying that, okay, are you looking for the cheap flight from like Hong Kong to Los Angeles? Okay, so this is certainly a suggestive web search, and also predictive analytics. So it's also another application, such as like nowadays the stock is up and down. Okay, how can we make use of this analytics to help us make decisions? Okay, and also for speech recognition, machine translation. So they are all very popular. Okay, so they are in commonplace, and also such as like intelligent recommendation. This is also becoming more and more widely used. Okay, so we can see that the more and more AI are used in business. Okay, they can certainly provide good solutions for many of the new challenges, business problems. Okay, so I will use this example that we do for business innovations to illustrate how the business use AI. Okay, so so everyone knows that innovation plays a very important role for a society to grow. And then we can see that there's a mismatch. Like, for example, there were patents, there were technologies invented, and uh, how can these industries find these technologies? Okay, there is a mismatch. Okay, or even so when you are going to the website to find any new or useful technologies, uh, and then certainly we can uh, like use AI to solve the problems. Okay, so the first step that you can do is that you will use this natural language tools to understand the patterns. Okay, assume that this is a patent or this is an article, and then you will do the profiling. Okay, so you will understand the patterns because we know that the new machine learning is a black box. Okay, it is a box. So when you have this input, and it will process it to you for you, and will use this box to process, and then you will get profiles. Okay, you will get the profiles using knowledge graphs. So it used to be that you have these keywords. Okay, you have the keywords like for the tagging for any articles or for any patents, but certainly with AI tools, you could have like a knowledge graph. So knowledge graph is a set of the keywords but they are connected. Okay, certainly we know that if it's isolated keywords and then the meaning is not enough. Okay, but if we can have this meaning, have this connected keywords, and then so it can express more meaning. Okay, so you can certainly profile the patterns, and certainly you could also do the profiles for companies. So even you could do the profile for like users, any user that is using the internet to search, you could do the profiles. Okay, so any company for business use, like you understand their background, and you could also do the profile for them. Okay, so in the same way, you could define the area they are interested, and also the set of the core keywords they are interested. So with this, and you could then do the mapping. Okay, you could do the recommendations. Okay, so you could certainly suggest based on the mapping of the profiles. Okay, so in this way, okay, certainly it's a great improvement to the traditional information search technologies. Okay, in the database or information search, we only do the search by keywords. Okay, but in AI or in machine learning, so we do the profiling and we do recommendations. Okay, the recommendation is an active approach. Okay, to solve this information search, to solve this information mismatch problems. Okay, so in order to make the AI work in business, okay, we need to certainly have these four major components. Besides these AI algorithms, such as like the algorithms for like NLP, natural language processing, like CNN, like a neural network model. So besides these algorithms, so we also need to have this data. Okay, we need to have this high quality data. We also need to have this business expert. They understand the business, and they can also make sure that this is correct. Okay, and then we also need to have this business use case, because only when we can identify the business use case, and we could train the machine like to become like the expert. So one of the arguments, in fact, was that can AI replace human? And then we said that no, mainly because that AI can only do the business in certain domains. Okay, so only when you identify the business case and only when you train them, so in this area they are good. But if there's no such case, and if there's no such training data, and then certainly AI cannot work. Okay, so we will first start with a business case, and we believe that this is extremely important. Okay, so in a given business domain, so we have structured data such as reports, like in any organization, like for example, the accounting. So you have reports, okay, or financial reports. You have transactions, okay, the business transactions. So if it's an e-commerce company, you have everyday transactions. So if it's the banking, every customer has transactions. You have unstructured data. Okay, so you have videos, image, or even social media content. So they can be different multimedia data. Okay, so we need to, even for natural language processing, so we need to get the data. clean the data, extract the features like the main or important information, and then we need to do the training, testing. So when certain parts were trained, and then you can then do the testing, and then you will place the machine for practical use. Okay. So you should also have the business experts. Okay, so this expert, so they can make sure that the data are reliable. Okay, so you need to have labeled data. Okay, such as like AlphaGo. So many because that you have this histories of these champions, chess champions, so that you can learn. Okay, even for like recommendations in Facebook, in YouTube, because they give you this topic and then you will choose. Okay, so only based on your choose, like click. So it means that you are the expert and then you click the data. So you are labeling what is your preference. Okay, only when you have this labeled data, and certainly, so this can be useful. Okay, so in banking application, like for fraud, or sometimes you want to like register users, and then so only when you have this historical data, and you could train the computer, and it can be used. Okay, so it's only when this labeled data are available, are verified by experts, and then so the machine can be trained, and then you can use this to improve your business. Okay, so we said that in the future, okay, many business like industries will be impacted. Okay, so in Hong Kong, we have this professional services, because the Hong Kong's pillar industries include financial services, professional services. Professional services may mean like marketing, others, okay, and also logistics. So these are three major industries in Hong Kong. Okay, but in terms of professional service, and you may also have this accounting, auditing, even governance. So these are the main functions in Big Four consulting firms. Because for example, our students, so when they graduate and they want to certainly work in this big Four companies, and what they do is that they will help these functional departments to use AI to improve their work efficiencies. Okay, so we will see that how we can use AI to make the business smart. Okay, so we said that so when we make business smart, so we not only improve efficiencies, but sometimes we say that, okay, so like machine learning or AI can sometimes help people to do something that a human being can hardly do. Okay, for professional service, I mean, everyone knows that nowadays we have more and more people like use Siri like for personal assistant. Okay, you could ask questions using Siri. Okay, say, oh, how can I go to Central? Okay, if you ask Siri, and then Siri will tell you how to do it. And sometimes when you are driving, and they can help you to type. Okay, and then in daily work, I mean, Siri can also help you with this secretary's job. Okay, in the future, so the secretary's job could be replaced or even simplified with theory. And the roles is certainly in AI lawyer. Okay, so say if you are doing this simple tasks, okay, you could certainly ask the roles to provide solutions, okay, with relation to like any legal challenges. Okay, it can help you to find the answer, and even sometimes maybe they can tailor it to different regions, such as related to Hong Kong, related to the mainland China. The China law is different from that in Hong Kong, so the roles or intelligent lawyer can help you to find those information easily. Okay, so the idea is the same as the example I showed you, that when you type in the question, you have the like a natural language processing tool to understand the question, like the statement you write. Once you get this, and then you will the system will pass this to machine learning tools, and to find the patterns, find the past successful case, and it will help you to get the answers, okay, most relevant or most useful to you. Okay, so this is how like roles work. You also see that so in companies, like used to be accountant is very important. Okay, but nowadays accounting service could be simple. Okay, so it means that in smartphones, you could develop this application. So any stuff like if it's work related or even personal related, so you could use this to record what did you do. Okay, especially like for example in universities, so we get the funding from the government in terms of research projects. Okay, so if I am the project investigator for a project, so I need to make sure that so I have a bookkeep of the detailed transactions of the funding. Okay, so I need to have the bookkeep of the items I use. And then, so when you, and then you could also use this to scan uh, the bills. And even sometimes you could have this QR code, okay? And then you could always maybe extract the information. So when the data are extracted, and you could like use the backend, the AI tools to help you to monitor the spending. Okay, if the spending exceeds certain limits or violate any rules, the computer or the system will help you to give the alert. Okay, so you in this way, okay, so you could make the accounting much more efficient. Okay, so it means that as an individual, so you don't make mistakes, and then even the organization or the banking, okay, so they are used to be they spend a lot of times to audit your financial statements or your accounting statements. Okay, but nowadays, so the big four companies or even the traditional accounting firms, so they are hiring so IT IT auditors, okay, to help them with this auditing job. So it means that the organization, so every day they have these hundreds or even thousands of these different transactions. If it's to audit these transactions by a human being, is extremely difficult. But nowadays, with AI, and you could easily train the data, you could easily find out if there's any fraud or if there's any problems, and then you could use AI or machine learning tools like to help you with this auditing tasks. Okay, so that's why nowadays, so even these big four companies, so they hire the IS graduate or computer science graduates to help them to do the job. So you may ask that why do we need the auditing? Okay, because every public listed company, okay, so if they are to release financial report, so they have to do auditing. Okay, they have to do auditing on a quarterly basis. Okay, so even for us, say in universities, so if we get a research project funded by the government, okay, so when so every year, so we also need to do the auditing for the project accounts. Okay, so auditing is becoming very important so in modern society. And then nowadays, so most of the auditing jobs were done by these AI robots. So in financial services, okay, it involves the circles, okay, such as maybe how can you open an account? So nowadays, Hong Kong government is promoting these virtual banks. Okay, so even though I did not see you, but you could open an account in a bank, or even sometimes maybe your customer can be from other countries, from Russia, from US, from Africa. Then how can you identify this is a reliable person? Okay, so it means that in financial services, this is called know your customer. So KYC. Okay, how can you know your customer? So based on their provided information and also based on public information. Okay, so virtual banks, they not only will rely that you provide them with information, but they will also rely on social media information. So they will also rely on like information from partnership banks. Okay, so with all this information, so they will make decisions. Okay, and also, so if you are to borrow the money from the bank, say if you want to buy a property and then you want to borrow the money, okay, how can a bank make the decision that I will give you the money? Okay, so this will be, this can also be done by machine learning. Okay, it means that the predictions. Okay, so based on your past data, and also based on similar case, say if the bank knows that you graduated from university and your monthly salary was 20,000 and the type of job you are, and then you want to borrow like 5 million from the bank, and the bank will look at all the historical data and will see that based on similar profile, and then so would they predict that, okay, so if you could pay back the loan or not? Okay, so they will also assess your risk, and then based on that, then bank can approve your loan. Okay, so this is also very important, and also AI applications. So nowadays, the government is encouraging this smart payment. Okay, and then so you could use all these smart payment tools for like the government money. Okay, so $5,000. Okay, so for this smart payment tools, okay, they because they know your data. Okay, they know your like spending patterns. So if they knew, okay, so you use the like the money to pay for any special type of food, and then certainly they can do the predictions. So they can do profile of you, and then they can also suggest like do the advertisement. Okay, they can suggest any like food you want to buy, because they knew that first you got the money. These are the easy money from the government. Okay, second, they knew your profile, and then they can certainly give very precise advertisement or suggestions. Okay, so then on the other hand, they will also charge those shops for like a premium, like to charge a very high amount for the advertisement that you are doing. Okay, because so they knew customers' preference, and they knew that this customer had enough money to buy. Okay, so very, very smart. Okay, and then certainly smart marketing. If you look at the Facebook, okay, Facebook was like become an IPO company, was listed in around year 2000. No, no, yes. And then only in the past 20 years, it become one of the top 10 like companies. Okay, so the reason why so they are so popular and they are so successful is mainly because uh, they knew better than you are. Okay, because they knew so every day what news you look, like what message you share, uh, and then when people share the food and then you like, and then you uh, show the preference, and then they certainly can collect all this information. So they knew your habits, like when you log into the system, they knew everything, and they even they knew your political preference. So based on that, so they can do a lot of posting, do a lot of this content marketing, and then certainly everyone. So they can like and share. So it's a social media marketing. So can even create this network effect. Okay, so in the future, okay, so this trend is not stopping. Okay, so it means that the viral marketing, okay, so like a social media marketing, so they are much more stronger, better than the others, in the sense that so they can easily use these AI tools. Okay, they can easily use this machine learning to understand your preference, and then to do the marketing. Okay, so if you look at a few months ago, look at the U.S. elections. Okay, so people worried that so this Facebook or these social media companies, so they could even influence those president elections. So that's I mean, because that they are so powerful. Okay, because they knew what people preference, and then they have this viral marketing effect. Okay, so the ScholarMate, I mean, I'm the founder of this ScholarMate. In fact, so this is a research social network for sharing these research papers, and then to connect people to share and discover those knowledge in research and innovation. Okay, it's a very narrow application. So it's like so the idea is very similar to Facebook, but it's in a very specialized domain. Okay, and you will also see that uh, trade. Oh no, so tourism, travel is also made easy with those AI tools. Okay, so if you are using this like trip.com, you are using this and then you book hotel, you book tickets, so they could even help you to plan the itineraries for you. Okay, they could even suggest the route. Okay, I had the experience that I booked the ticket even with Cathay Pacific, and I went to Europe city, and I even through the website I booked a hotel. So the like piece like my phone can suggest me. So when I arrive in the airport, they can suggest you to take any local transportation to go to a hotel. And then certainly these are all rely on this smart or even AI enabled advisors. Okay, because if like AI or if the computer knows like the ticket you bought, okay, so you took the flight and the hotel you are staying, and even they could trace the flight, and then they can based on the location, so they can give you suggestions on the fastest route or even on this route that you pay less. Okay, so you may ask the question that why do they do it? Okay, so if they can help you, okay, if you rely on them to make decisions, okay, and then certainly, so later on they can find a way to make money. Okay, so this travel agents or this travel aids will not make money from like end users, but instead, so if they are so powerful, if so many people are using it, and they could easily charge those like travel agents. Okay, say if you are like using this extensively, and you may buy tickets. Okay, and then those like agents selling tickets will come to the platform. So they are using this different business model to make money. Okay, certainly this will have great impact on travel industries. Okay, so I certainly had the experience that I went to like Amsterdam. Uh, so this was about 2 years ago before this COVID. Okay, and then I saw a museum. I wanted to visit the museum, and if I buy the ticket on the spot, say it was about like €100. But if I use this agent, like if I use this travel aid, like trip.com, and I only pay like $70, €70. So it is a 30% discount. Okay. So this will certainly have a major impact on the industries. So it means that so if you were like a traditional agent that rely on like telephones, rely on on-site support, and it will not work. Okay, but like all this the intelligent travel aid, so will help people and will get the business. Okay, so we can see that all this will have major impact on the business industries, but on the other hand, so it creates a lot of this risk. Okay, so it creates the risk for data privacies. If you follow the news, or if any of you buy the stock, and you will hear the news that DD. So DD is the largest taxi or the car rental companies in China. It's like Uber. Okay, so you can like book any car or even taxi, okay, through Didi, so in the mainland China, okay, and then the Didi company was listed in U.S. Nasdaq about a month ago, and after it's listed, and the Chinese government was asking Didi to stop the registration of new users, and was accused Didi for like data privacy issues. Okay, because of this, the stock price so went down more than 40%. Okay, so it means that if you don't follow this, or if you ignore this, and then you will lose a lot of money. Okay, it's not only like the companies in the mainland China that had the risk, but even these large companies such as IBM, such as Microsoft, so they also have these problems. Okay, such as like this was the news. IBM used this Flickr for facial recognition. So if you, I mean, this is very commonplace. Say nowadays, if you cut and paste a photo in Google, and they will help you to search for similar patterns, or even like in iPhone. So in smartphones, I mean, if you use the photo, they can also help you to find similar people. Okay, but if you use this for commercial purpose, so will that violate people's privacies? It's a challenge. Okay, and also is the ethical issues. Okay, and for example, companies. So can we use this like electronic device to check people's productivity? I mean, this may not be ethical to do it. Okay, that you may also have other issues related to ethical, and sometimes is people like responsibilities. So again, because in Hong Kong, so we had very few like internet stocks. So one of these was Tencent. Okay, one of this is Tencent, and then so Tencent stock also went down about 40%, maybe 35%. So in the past half a year time, 6 months. So one of the accusations for Tencent was that so their income, so their major income was from games. Okay, so it that the company's responsibility to make sure that the small kids cannot spend all their times on the games. So these are all like a company's social responsibilities. So it's not just maybe making money. Okay, any company, so if you want to be successful, so you have to be responsible. Okay. And then we said that the AI or machine learning is changed the way that we do business. Okay, so a lot of this example that I showed is that so we we will use a lot more in the future. Okay, for to replace our work. But one of the challenge for business executive is that so if I am using AI to make decision, okay, it's the black box. Okay, I don't know. So what are you? So based on what? I mean, you help me to make decisions, because by definition, okay, the AI or especially the machine learning is a black box. that you have the input and you can get the output. Okay, you even don't know so how they make decisions. Okay, so interpretable AI or explainable AI is that we want to make sure that when you make decision, okay, and then you may need to know the reasons. Okay, so one of the easy way is that when people like do a search, or even like the example I used for recommending a patent to a company, so you will use the tag to mark the keywords or the and also even use this knowledge graph to show the concepts that you capture. Okay, so if you can tell the user, like based on what I make the recommendation, and then it's more acceptable to users. Okay, so with this in mind, that we come to this Department of Information Systems in CityU. So we have the two majors, and then our mission is to nurture the smart people for smart business. Okay, we have the two majors. One is that to nurture smart business managers. So this is a GB systems management program. The other one is to nurture smart business professions. So it means that people, when they join the workforce, that they knew how to help business to make decisions, so help business to innovate. And then even so in the business college, we are so playing a major role, and then our students can easily apply the knowledge and in different other sectors, such as accounting, such as finance, such as the marketing and analytics. So these are the major functional industries that are the core industry pillars in Hong Kong. Okay, so our students can easily get to their fields. Okay, so if in the future, after the talk, okay, so you are interested to apply artificial intelligence to solve the business problems, or even in the future, so you want to be an entrepreneur to change the way of doing business in companies, and you are welcome to join us. So with this, I will end the talk. So I will use the rest of the 5 minutes to answer any questions you have. So if you have any questions, you could type the questions in the chat box. Hello? Yes, can you see, so do you know how to use chat box? Okay, great. Okay, thank you. Can I see again types of AI slides? So you could always contact the organizers to get the slides. Okay, so how do you think AI would progress? I would think that the AI will still have major impact on industries, because nowadays you will see that everyone is going to cloud, and then cloud can provide very high powerful computing, and then can make the AI even more successful. So I promise, I will say that if you look at the slides, you will see that a lot of these business industries will be impacted by the use of AI, especially the machine learning. Okay. So nowadays, with this Azure from Microsoft, the Watson from IBM, from these major companies, and then the application becomes more and more easily. How is good AI created? So we can use a lot of these tools, such as the Azure in Microsoft, and even this large internet companies, they all provide these tools on the cloud. Yes, so SEO is part of the course in this university, and then you will see that a lot of these SEOs are integrated with machine learning. Okay, so we can learn from the past, and then if you have all the histories, you could learn how to improve. So only when you can identify the business case, then you could make the AI work. Okay, so only when you can identify a business case clearly. Okay, such as like auditing the certain types of job, and then with that data, and you can make it successful. AI will replace certain types of jobs, such as repeated process, very simple, tedious job, but AI will not replace creative jobs. Yeah, AI will not replace anything that is more creative. In terms of percentage, it's hard to say really, because with AI or with machine learning, and more jobs could be created. So it means that the new jobs can be created. It's like a car. Okay, when you have car and you could easily drive like 100 miles away in 1 hour, and you can extend your boundary. Okay, with machine learning, with computers, so you can expand your boundary. Okay, so time is up. Thank you very much. I hope you can enjoy it. So if you want to contact us, you could also send me email, contact me. Okay, thank you.